All right, you're in for a treat today. I'm going to tell you about some hair products. A comb, this great comb. I'm going to show you some curlers and tubes. Best of all, I'm going to show you new Glamour's new frosting cap. And let me give you a good picture of that. Yep. Hey, guess what? It's under a new patent. Don't worry. Okay, new Glamour's pack. Let's give it a try, shall we? This is a new venture. We're gonna try this out. Here we go. Let's see how this works. I guess I should comb first. Here we go. All right, now it's time. Let's test out this new frosting cap. Wow, worked better than I could have ever imagined. It's a good thing they got a patent on this baby. Wow. Looks good. Yeah. Thumbs up for there you go, thumbs up for the new frosting cap. Well, sorry to disappoint, but I'm not going to talk about combing your hair or vanity, or definitely not going to talk about new Glamour's frosting cap. Look at that guy. It's like a torture test. I don't know. I'm not going to do that. All right. Quite the opposite. Today, I'm going to talk about my favorite sermon that I've ever heard. The preacher's name was Christopher Delangis. He's actually a friend of mine, and he was part of my kids' church. I taught the kids' church at church, and when he would be a part of our kids' church, it was a really good time. You see, something you should know, Christopher was born with a condition that actually he spent most of his life in a hospital room, confined to a hospital bed. But whenever he was well enough, he would come to kids' church. And I was teaching one day, and I saw Christopher come in. And see, he'd been well for quite a few months now. He'd been coming pretty consistently, and I saw him come in again. I'm up front at kids' church. I got a mic, and I'm just about ready to teach all this stuff I had planned to teach the kids, right? Well, I see Christopher walk in, and as the kids are all getting in their places, I said, "Hey, Christopher, come up front here real quick." Kids are finding their places. It's still kind of noisy, and he comes up front, and I said, "Hey, Chris, I want you to preach today." Oh, I can't do that. He says, "No, I don't know what to say." I said, "That's all right. Talk to God. I'm going to do the announcements. You just talk to God. Ask him what you should share with the kids today." Oh, okay. I guess so. Right? So I'm doing the announcements. I'm finished getting the kids in their places. And I say, "Today, guys, I have a special guest for you, a special speaker. So everybody quiet down. Here's Chris." And I hand him the mic. He takes the mic and he gives a short, concise message about hearing from God when you're in really tough spots. And man, from a kid who's had a lot of tough places in life, he's had a lot of painful experiences, like literally pain, lots of needles and just awful things he's had to go through. And yet he tells these young kids, he says, "I want to encourage you guys today, no matter what you're going through. I've gone through this and this." He tells a couple stories, but he says, "No matter what you've gone through today, I want you to know that God is with you, that God loves you, and that he will be with you." What a powerful message, especially from a young man who just humbly comes in, not even expecting to preach, not even, with no strategy, no plan at all, just says, "God, what would you have me say to these kids?" And he speaks from his humble heart of God loves you and he's with you. What a powerful message. I just want to encourage you today with that same message. Like, that's a sermon that will be with me for the rest of my life. You see, a couple months ago, he passed away. And at his funeral, I was struck by how many nurses and doctors and Sunday school teachers who had been touched by his life. Even though he was confined to a hospital room, he just spoke out of who he was, and it totally changed people's lives. We really can just live a life as one of God's kids, and people would be blessed. God shared with me that we are going to be surprised at the grandness, at how big Christopher's reward in heaven is. See, I'm still unpacking that realization that he didn't have much here on this earth. He didn't have resources. He didn't minister to a whole lot of people. He just really cared for kids and made a few people laugh. I think it's a picture of how God is more interested in our hearts as opposed to our accomplishments and our great big ministries and all these things that we can add up and compile as a great thing. And it's also a great picture of what can actually happen through our lives when we just look to Him, as opposed to our strategies and all of our great plans that we can create. We just look to God, and powerful things can happen. Many people can be blessed. Thanks again, buddy. We miss you.